Welcome to Scaling Your Healthy Food Product podcast, where we believe the process of scaling better for you product doesn't have to be lonely, hard, or complicated, but following simple steps to prepare your product to scale correctly will set you up to succeed. If that is you, you're in the right place. I'm your host, Jacinta Kimboy. Let's get started, everybody. Nationally, it had gone to all the different provinces, but the province that the product had been developed in, which in this case was Quebec, it had a very low distribution. But what we discovered was it wasn't just that the local market wasn't favorable to the product. It was just a matter of the fact that the distribution locally was not well distributed. And you have been told by several, and you've heard yourself, like, you start local. That's where you grow your business, you get it started, you get traction, you take it nationally. But what if you don't really know how you can do it local? That's why we're talking about it. That's what we're talking about in this episode. It's 3 local gems every food founder should know about. Starting local can be a very good way to grow your business. You've heard, and I don't know if you've heard, but I have heard food products, food businesses that started local, and that's how they grew their business. Some of them started in farmers markets, and they have grown nationally. They're in all kinds of stores, Walmart, Target, and even the one that everybody wants to be in, Costco. But where exactly did they start? Like, some of them start in the farmers market, like I mentioned, but others start in different ways. But these are the 3 local gems that I'm addressing this week, because I have gotten question on like how to really take advantage of the local, because local is one of the places that can take your product places, and they could even lead to your product being asked to be presented in some retail stores that some of us and the early stage food founders would like their products to get in. So without further ado, these are the 3 local gems that you should be thinking about. And the reason why I say this is before I go to the first one is I did a project. I did develop a product once, and the product itself had gone nationally. And we have this process, like once the product has been launched, you go back and you do like a post-mortem kind of a process, and you figure out, like, in terms of this is now the sales, what went right, what went wrong. Did we have instances where the product itself had like back orders? What are some of the things that can be done? So it's more like getting all the data from that launch and figuring out what went right and what went wrong to be able to use it for the next launch. So what we discovered was the product had gone nationally. It had gone to all the different provinces, but the province that the product had been developed in, which in this case was Quebec, it had a very low distribution. But what we discovered was it wasn't just that the local market wasn't favorable to the product. It was just a matter of the fact that the distribution locally was not well distributed, and they had not so many buyers were aware of the product, and it had not really been presented into like the different stores, the different buyers, for them to be able to have an opportunity to say yes or no. So it was just a matter of this is an example of the product itself had been selling nationally, all the different provinces, but just in the province itself, in the local province of Quebec, the product was not being presented that well. It wasn't, and this is a place that most people would have potentially bought. So what we discovered was it had not been presented to many buyers, and once that happened, the product just increased. The sales increased quite tremendously. We had, I think we were having like a 300,000 for the month, and it went to like 600,000. And it's not just that it was local, but local really did play a big part. So that's why I wanted to talk about it this episode, because some of these stores and some of this local gems that every food founder should really know about, in my opinion, because it kind of plays part in how your product will succeed as you grow and as you take it to different places. Okay, so without further ado, so the first one is coffee shops. Coffee shops is one of those you can take your product, and it's kind of like unforgiving, because you can present your product in your local area, and this and I say, and these are coffee shops that you yourself frequent, because you're local there, you frequent there, you maybe even did like your business plan when you sat there in a corner and you did that. But then in some ways you can forget that that's a place that you can present your product, because coffee shops are inviting to some of those products. You can present to them, and even in such a way that you could say, I want to do like a study myself. I want to see how people are reacting to my products. I want to see how people are, either they like it, they don't like it. And this is a way to, it could also give you like some kind of market research, because you can have that discussion with the customers that come, and you just go present yourself in the coffee shop and tell them this is your product, your local business, and you want to see how the community is reacting to your product. They're willing to do that because you're a customer yourself, and these are people that know you. Some of the people that frequent that store, they know you. So take advantage of the coffee shops. Like, don't limit yourself to one or two. Take your product as to many as possible and see how people react to it. And it's a very good place to get customer feedback, especially if you haven't really had that chance to interact with the customers and see how they react to your product. And I know this can be a good one if, let's say, you don't want to commit to the whole season for farmers markets, and you still want to get feedback from your customers other than just going to trade shows. This is a good one to do locally. This is something that you could plan a few weeks and just go and see how everybody reacts to your product. So that's a gem. So take advantage of it and make use of it. Go introduce yourself and see how you can take advantage of that. And this is just not even for just new products. It can also be like your product has been local, has gone nationally, has gone to different places, but your local people don't really know much about your product. So it's a way to also increase distribution in your local area. So take advantage of that. Go check it out and let me know what you discover. The second one is a local grocery store. You have like in your areas, you have like the local grocery stores that don't really have like a national brand, like they're not the chains. Go present yourself there and see what they're willing to do and how you can present your product. Some of them, they're very accommodative of local products, and especially now in Canada, there's this whole buy Canadian for Canadian. Take advantage of that. Just go present yourself and present your product and see what they have, because some of those stores even have like instances where maybe it's a certain month or it's a certain week of the month. Some of them they have frequent things going on for the local, where they promote local produce, local products. Your product might not be like a produce, but it's still local. So it's a matter of just going to present yourself, present your product, and say what's your mission and what do you want to get your product, and how do you want your product to impact the community, and how you would like them to support you in this, in your venture as you grow your business and as you grow your product's reach. So really take advantage of this, and you can even go farther to even talking to like the local grocery chains. And when I say grocery chains, I'm referring to like Sobeys, for example, and Loblaws and the Walmarts. You could go talk to because the thing is, some of those local chains, they're owned by local people because they're kind of like franchise. So some of them are owned by local people, and they can tend to they have the freedom to make some of those choices and some of those decisions in terms of which products to bring in their store. And let's say you speak to somebody, I'm just giving an example, in like Sobeys, and they like your product. This is like in your local area. They like your product. You present your product. This is how you like it. And they showcase you, and people start to buy from your area. Then when they go to other places, because you can be in in a certain area, and you travel and you're looking for the same product in a different store and you don't find it. And sometimes the customers will go, maybe most of the times the customers will go and ask somebody that works there, I'm looking for this product, you guys don't carry it. So it starts to have questions, and before you know it, your product now is being asked for by other chains in the same area, like those grocery chains, like in different areas, just because your local one is pushing your product further and faster than anybody else. So it's not like, it wouldn't be, because some of those decisions usually come from like top down, but in this case it's like down moving up, because the consumer is asking for your product. It's not really listed in all the other chains, but because your local one is really seeing a move in that, the other ones tend to start to also accept it, and your product now starts to go nationally. And the other huge thing about this is it gives you the data. It gives you the data of how your product is being consumed, in what ways, in what volume. And it gives you something that you can go to like some of those huge stores that you're looking at getting in, because most of them would want some data. And also, let's say you have your product and you're manufacturing it in like a small facility, and you're looking for a co-packer. They're going to ask you, so what's your volume? Just so that they do their due diligence, because really for a co-manufacturer to accept you, they need to have had, they need to see that there's an ROI of 3 years, at least most of them, that your product, them accepting your product, they will have a return in their investment in like 3 years, because this is also something that they're accepting and they're believing in you. So they'll ask you for like volume, and local grocery stores and the coffee shops. You can have your data that way. You can also see the growth, like when you started, as you continue to grow, you kind of see like the growth, and you'll see how everything is growing and how your product is being accepted and being received by consumers. So that's your second one. So those are the local grocery chains. And the third one, the one that most people overlook, is like the art boutiques. And this can also include like the salons in your area, because they always have, like, when people go there, they would have like snacks, and they would have food items that people can purchase once they finish what they're doing, whether they're doing pottery, or they're coloring, or they're painting, whatever they're doing, people are always buying stuff. If they're not buying, like if they're not buying the drinks there, they could just be buying whatever is being sold in that area. So that's where your product can be presented. These are just opportunities for you to present your product to other places that consumers go. Because at the end of the day, you want your product to be presented to as many consumers as possible. Give them the option, because people are always looking for options. I'm always looking for options, like different things. If I like a granola bar and I like this one, I'll try and look for another one just to have a different feel of the texture, how it feels. And if it does have like healthy benefits, I will definitely go for it, and I'll definitely be trying it. So give yourself this option by presenting your products to different places. And the art boutiques and even the salons, these are pretty good places that you can present your products, especially local, and get your product known. Give your product the traction that it needs, especially in the local area. You want people to support you, because people love to see the product that they can relate to. Because there's this thing I always say, like if you go to a grocery store and you're buying these national brands, most of the time you don't really know who's behind. You don't know the founder behind those products, but you still buy them anyway. But now think about it. If you had a product that you know the founder behind that product, you are going to be championing the product because you know the person behind, and especially if it's like from your local neighborhood, it just gives you some kind of a pride that you want to be associated with. So let's not deprive our neighborhood of our good products by not presenting them into the three different gems that I've been talking about and addressing today, because people are looking for your products and you need to present your products so people know. And these are new areas if you haven't. And if there's only one that you have not, or you've done most of it, and there's one that you just discovered today that you have not, this is your permission. Go present your products there. Let your local community enjoy your goodness, enjoy the products that you've been creating for them and for the people. So I just wanted to talk about give you the three local gems so that you can take advantage of them, and so that your product can grow and increase its reach, because that's why I'm here. I want to see more of this Better For You food products out there so that the next generation can enjoy good products that are contributing to their well-being, and they are contributing to the good of our nation. So keep at it, and visit kamaresearch.com to get yourself the guide to scaling your food business. And don't forget to subscribe to this podcast so you don't miss all the tips that are coming your way when they come in. Until next time, keep scaling your business. Remember, I am cheering you on, and my mission is to see more food businesses, healthy food businesses, better for you, plant-based in the food aisle. So remember, I'm cheering you on. So this week, as you make a step closer to your dream, to seeing your products in the market or seeing the growth that you deserve, remember, I am cheering you on. Until next week, keep scaling your food business.